morning. Thanks for joining me at Coffee with Kory. I'm going to get right into it. Had so many fun interactions this week that I got to touch on as many of them as I can in the time that we have together. Last Saturday, after we had coffee together, Jossie and I got the opportunity to watch Aubrey and Emery for a few hours. And I don't know if you remember, but it was really chilly last Saturday. But that never stops Aubrey from wanting to go outside. She finally talked me into packing her up in the wagon. And ironically enough, her and her stuffed penguin. The penguin fit right in because it was definitely penguin weather last weekend. But we got to take a little stroll around the neighborhood. And that was fun. My coffee cup this morning is a nod to my little buddy Emery that he was so intrigued with this cup last weekend because as you drink the coffee down, there's a little draft inside it. I don't think you can probably see it from this angle that we're visiting on here, but Nikki will put the pictures up of me catching Emery being curious, and it's always good to be curious and intrigued with with things and want to explore them more. So I wanted to share that with you guys this morning as I drank out of the cup. Got to go to a couple graduation parties. One in particular that I want to mention was my buddy Jeremy and I drove up to Chester for the graduation party for Michaela Scott. And just such a bright young lady. From what I understand, she was the valedictorian of her class. Got to address everybody at the graduation and had a copy of her speech laying there, and so that was kind of fun to get to see because I wasn't able to attend the graduation. But it was great to visit with Michaela and her younger sisters, Caitlin and Alyssa, and Jen, their mom. And then we actually got to see our good buddy Tim as well. So, and his parents Dale and Pam. So just a full day when Jeremy and I got to go up there. And so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. You know, and I've had a few instances this week, a handful probably or more, where buddies will just reach out, and I love it when friends will reach out for no reason, just to check in, see how you're doing, how was your day, hey, you want to get together, just because, not for any reason. And those interactions, you guys know who you are, those interactions are so very special to me, and I will tell you, they inspire me to continue to do the same thing with all of our other friends and just reach out, just to let people know that you're invested, and it's important. So speaking of which, this kind of ties into it. Pierce comes to me the other day, and his team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are playing in the Western Conference Finals against his older brother Connor's team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we talked a little bit about going to some games. I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet, but we'll kind of see how it plays out. But Pierce did come to me the other day, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I've been talking with one of his other buddies, Adam, about going up to a game in Minnesota. And gosh, it's going to be expensive, and we're going to have to travel, and I just don't know." And I relayed to Pierce the story of so many years ago when the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to play in Denver in the AFC Championship. As soon as Denver won their game, to know that that's how that was going to play out, that they were going to host the AFC Championship and Pittsburgh had already won and they were going to play them, Majeski calls me, my buddy Magic, and he goes, "Davis, we're going to that game." And I'm like, "No way." And I sounded a lot like Pierce did when he was telling me about this the other day. I'm like, "Man, it's a long drive. It's a lot of money. I just don't know if I want to go." And as Magic would do, he talked me into it, and we went. It was one of the best trips I ever took, and I'll always cherish that. And I relayed that to Pierce as he and Adam were talking about this, and I'm like, "Dude, you got to go. How many opportunities are you going to get to hang out with a good buddy, go on a trip, and watch your teams?" And so Adam's a Timberwolves fan too, and Pierce is cheering for the Thunder. So hopefully they're all in good spirits when they come back from that trip. So anyway, I had to throw that out there because I think it's a good lesson in and just a good reminder that when you get the opportunity to take to take a trip or do something special with a good friend, and you can make it work. Try not to think of the barriers, but try to think about the reasons that you should go, because those are moments, I'm telling you, you'll treasure them forever. So there's that. I want to leave you with a little bit of a business thing, and I will tell you, it ties in with a quote that I read decades ago, actually, and I tried to find it this morning. I couldn't find it, so hopefully, Nick, you'll be able to dig it up for us. But it's something to the effect of, it was a quote on character, and don't remember who said it. It was in a book that I've got, and it went something to the effect of, character is competing your hardest, doing your best, while taking the needs of others into consideration. And that came up this week because I was talking with one of my other team members about ideas to develop business. And there were, this team member had been doing some research on just, there's so many things out there on the internet that you can research about business ideas in different lines of business that you're in. Obviously, we're in real estate. And we talked about this idea to try and get clients. And it's an idea that's used quite a bit in our industry, and I've run across it a lot in the past. I've never used it for the reason, and I told this to my team member. I said, this way of generating business could entirely be at the detriment of others in our industry, and not really build those types of relationships that you want to build with other real estate agents. And if I've had any level of success in this industry, I like to think that it's because I've worked and played well with others through my years in this business. And so I relayed that to my team member, said, you can do it, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not unethical, it's very common, but I don't do it, and this is why. We had that conversation, and then I thought about that quote afterwards, and I'm like, you know what, that's probably ties into that. Just because you can do something, and just because it may be able to help you succeed, sometimes you just want to make sure that you're taking the needs of others into consideration, and do whatever you feel is best. So I want to leave you with that. Like I said, I felt like that was one of the good little lessons in life, and a little lesson in business that we could chat about this morning. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week at Coffee with Kory.